Good morning. My name is Jerry Pearson, and welcome to the North American premiere of my video, Tai Chi First Light. Tai Chi First Light is a video that I created for a very particular audience, for people who are practicing Tai Chi and people who are passionate about Tai Chi. It's about what it feels like to do Tai Chi from the inside. What are the inner landscapes? What are the energetic journeys we take while practicing this wonderful art of Tai Chi? I first was introduced to Tai Chi 20 years ago. I was on a tour of China with a group of dance educators. While we were in Beijing, our coordinators hired a Kung Fu master to teach us Tai Chi in the parking lot of the hotel. When I got home to California, I had forgotten all of it. And so I started searching the internet, and I found a VHS that was called Tai Chi, the 24 Forms by Dr. Paul Lam. And Dr. Lam was a much better teacher than the master in Beijing, and I learned it very quickly and became part of my practice. I've studied many different Tai Chi forms, but recently I've been fascinated with the Chen form. I really love the beautiful articulate hands and the spiral force that's happening, and I particularly love the magic of silk reeling. I practice the Chen 92 form, which is where you start with the Chen 36, and then you add the 56 onto it afterwards. I've been obsessed with Chen. I've been taking so many workshops on it, and if you don't believe me, this is my car. I consider all of my Tai Chi to be an extension of my career in dance. I started dancing when I was 16 years old. I became a professional dancer at 17. I've been in the dance business as a performer, as a choreographer, as a director, as an educator for the last 50 years. I think that Tai Chi has improved my dance, and dance has improved my Tai Chi. And they blended, they yin and yanged together into a synthesis that I call Dancing with Chi. And the name of the presentation that I'm giving you today is Dancing with Chi. I'd like to start by showing you a video of a dance I created back about 4 years ago. I created this dance and I taught the Chen 36 form exactly as I learned it on these dancers. These are dance majors at the University of California, Santa Barbara, where I was a professor. I enhanced the form a little bit to keep the dancers entertained. A few turns, a few extra kicks. In the background are students, Kung Fu students at the Shaolin Temple. I use the martial arts aspects of Tai Chi to show conflict, major conflict like war. But when it goes down just to two dancers, I wanted to show more of how the forces of aggression and retreat, of light and darkness, of yin and yang, man and woman, uniting into one. So, Are these dancers doing Tai Chi? I mean, they learned the form, they did the shapes perfectly. Is it Tai Chi? So I started looking for what a definitive definition of what Tai Chi is. So I started researching ancient Chinese documents and Taoist texts and scriptures, and I eventually found one document that was the perfect definition of Tai Chi. This was a document from 2018, and I had it translated from the Chinese into the digital form. And of course, these are Dr. Paul Lamb's principles of what Tai Chi is. And so, and I looked at it, and the movement control dancers could do, and the body structure was dancers, the overlapping, but this internal aspect, this song, this opening of the joints and the loosening that was happening, and this jing with the mental quietness. I can assure you, those dancers did not experience mental quietness. They were so excited to perform, they were so powerful, that this was obviously what the major difference was, this internal aspect of what movement is. But two things were very clear. Both of these forms use the human body as their instrument, and both of them use energy, Chi, to propel them. Lights out, please. This is my body. I can feel the energy in my body. This energy moves me. I move slowly, smoothly, continuously. It feels good. I can feel your energy. When you look at me, when you focus on me, when you give me attention, you give me energy and it moves me. And when I send energy back to you, I want to move you so that we have a relationship, a conversation. We all just want the same thing. We just want to be moved. The first warm-up in the Tai Chi for Health program begins with walking through the space and opening and closing your hands. As a dancer, I love this. I love the feeling of the air across my body, through my hands. I love the feeling of the space above me and around me. It allows my energy to expand. In my normal life, my space is small. I'm with a computer or my phone. But as I start the warm-up, I allow myself to expand. I allow my energy to fill the space so I can become three-dimensional again. Dancers' energy are located by having a strong center so that we can allow our legs to move and our arms to move freely. We have a strong center so that we can pirouette. We have us lift in the pelvis so that we can leap in the air. Although that part of my career is done. I don't leap anymore. With Tai Chi, the structure is a different structure. You have an upright torso, and you have a very careful weight transfer, and you're always carrying from that center your dantian, that upright torso. Where in dance, we allow that torso to move so that we can create interesting designs in space moving. In Tai Chi, we're moved by the ease of our joints, that song aspect. You have that song that can give you strength when you add things together. You have the song in that horse stance opening up into the legs. In Chinese, this is the dong. And so it's important to song your dong. I'm sorry, I apologize. When dancers prepare, they wait for the moment to start. Boom, you get ready and you wait for that incoming force. And the incoming force is the music. It's a boom, chick, chick, boom, chick, da, da, da. You get that whole aspect of readiness. When we do Tai Chi, we go into the Wu Ji stance. And we try to have our energy totally quiet, our mind totally quiet. And then when we start, we allow all those things to happen. The sinking, deep rooting into the ground, the lift of the head, the opening of the joints. And when we transfer our weight, we root down deep like a tree. I found out in Australia that rooting means something totally different. When I was telling everyone about how important it was to root, it turns out that rooting is a vulgar term for sexual intercourse. And so when I was telling them about how I was rooting, they wouldn't say anything. They would just, and occasionally ask questions like, how far do you penetrate into the earth when you're rooting? And it's like, do you have sudden bursts of joy when you're... Thank you very much, Australians. All right. I'm going to tell you now a little bit about my dance career. It all started with a girl. She was a modern dancer, and she convinced me to take dance classes. We started dancing together. Eventually, we started dating, and then it led to rooting. We got married, and we started choreographing together. And our work became quite popular where that was, in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And after we graduated from college, we decided we needed to go to New York City to make it big. And so our first concert, we got a review from the New York Times. That's a good review. Things have worked out really well. The American Dance Festival, one of the biggest festivals in America, then commissioned us to do new work and perform on their Emerging Generations series. But what we really wanted to do was to get into a professional touring company. And we both loved Murray Lewis. We saw him when we were in Minneapolis perform, and we went backstage and we asked Murray and said, we want to be in your dance company. We're going to go to New York. We're here to be in your dance company. And he said the chance was 1 in 10,000 that both of you are going to get into the company. And so we started doing our own work in New York, and we performed everywhere. After 9 months, Murray relented. He expanded the company to put us in. Murray's company was, okay. It was really one of the big companies in America, and we toured all over North and South America, 35 weeks a year touring. We danced on Broadway. We performed with Dave Brubeck. We danced with ballet superstar Rudolf Nureyev. Rudolf brought us to London at the Colosseum. In Paris, he took us to Théâtre Champs-Élysées. And in New York, we had a special performance with Rudolf Nureyev and Dame Margot Fonteyn at the Gershwin Theater on Broadway. And I'm in the wings there, ready to help Margot down. I was 29 years old then, and I'd achieved all my goals in dance. I was being paid 52 weeks a year. I was in a company I loved. I was dancing with the biggest stars in the world and in the biggest theaters all around the world. And I was miserable. I wanted to do my own work. I wanted to have my own voice. I thought myself as an artist. And so slowly I tried to convince Sarah to quit the company so we could do our own work. And eventually she agreed. So we formed the Pearson Dance Company. Things took off. We had a booking agent, so we had performances all over America, and we worked with a dance management company, so our photos and our brochures and our posters all looked great. We were presented by some of the best places in New York and around the country. And the good reviews kept coming in. And I never mentioned the bad reviews. We started touring in Europe, and they liked us too. It was a duet company, and we specialized in partnering, making designs, beauty in the space, like music. We worked really hard. We would rehearse 6 hours a day. We would video everything. And then we'd go home, watch the video, take notes, come back the next day, and repeat. We wanted to be the best we could be. We wanted to dance as one. We started expanding our touring to Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt, to India. Eventually we had to increase the number of people dancing because of the fact that we were working in bigger and bigger theaters. And then one morning, 1986, I woke up and Sarah was standing there and she had her coat on and a suitcase. And she said she was leaving me for one of the new dancers. Sad, sad part. We had worked together for 19 years, building a career. And I just didn't know what to do. I decided I was going to quit dancing, and I applied to film school at NYU. I did a few film projects, and I found that I missed dancers, missed being with them. The film people were good and smart, but they were ambitious. They wanted to be famous, and dancers, you know, they just wanted to dance. I found that remembering dance is that when you're dancing with someone, you're really dancing and partnering. You flow into them and they flow into you. And it's like you become one. You share a nervous system. And it's a very powerful feeling. And sometimes it feels like you're out in the ocean surfing with giant waves. And I missed that. I missed being with people who wanted to do that. And so I started looking for jobs, and I got a job. A very well-known choreographer, Alwyn Nicolai, hired me to be his assistant for a new ballet that he was creating at the Paris Opera Ballet. And it was like, that's a good job. So I did that for a while, and I started to become no longer a dancer who generates energy on stage, but a choreographer, the architect of energy, the creator of energy into the space. And I got a lot of commissions. I got one commission that was fabulous. Dublin. The Dublin Theatre Festival hired me to do a full evening work based on James Joyce's novel, Ulysses. Okay. Now, I happen to be a Ulysses fan, and I'd read it. And so it was this big production. I had a big budget, and so I had opera singers and actors and a whole dance company. And it went fantastic. And we totally, sold out and had great reviews. But the best thing happened was I had a wild affair with one of the dancers. And that turned out great. She came back with me to the United States, and things went very well. And we went back to Dublin, and we got married. We started to expand. Little bodies were coming out of my wife's body. We had doubled in number. And I was a father. Lights out. And I became part of a powerful spiral. Sensual. Sexual. It was a miracle. Lights up. Okay. I'd been living in New York City for 15 years, and I didn't want to raise a family in New York. And so I went looking for jobs, and I got a great job at the University of California, Santa Barbara as a professor. And my job was my research. I got to create a dance company, have a professional dance company, and I had that dance company for a long time, and I was able to create whatever I wanted to. And I created over 100 dances. And then I retired. After 26 years at the university, I retired. I wanted to work my way out of the university politics and spend time doing Tai Chi, traveling. I had a plan. I got hit in the face with cancer. 6 months after I retired, boom, stage 3, prostate cancer. After excruciating times of working out what to do and with the doctors and all these conflicting recommendations from friends and family, we decided the only way to take care of this was to have it removed. The doctors told me what the procedure was, and then I panicked. They were to take out my dantian. I immediately got a hold of Dr. Lamb, and he assured me that they can't remove your dantian. It's an energetic concept, you know. So I carried on and got the operation. This is me rocking a gown, all right? And it took a while. The recovery was slow. Here's me rocking a catheter bag. It was actually hard. It was a hard time. When they took out the prostate, they found the cancer had worked its way out of the skin there, and I needed to do radiation treatments. And the radiation really wore me out. In fact, I was really down. This whole aspect of cancer treatment where you go in and you get these, people are talking about, you know, you might die. People are talking about, so you get this tension that you start to wear, and there's discomfort all the time of the treatments, and it's, you get this tension that you wear like a suit of clothes, and then you forget to take the clothes off at night, and you go into the next day and you put on another suit, and it's like you're wearing stress. But I had one magical tool, Tai Chi. It was a wonderful process of having, where you could actually feel from the inside that energy was inside of you, and that you could make that energy grow. You had a tool that empowered you to let you release that suit of tension, and at least for moments feel better, and that you, again, the power of being able to do it yourself. It's hard to remove it from the outside. Just take that off. Don't be tense. But when you start doing the Tai Chi and allow the breathing, it allowed it to happen. It was so successful that I wanted to share that with the other cancer patients. I had to spend lots of time at the cancer center. And it really was the first time I taught Tai Chi. I'd been teaching dance, you know, my whole life. And I started teaching Tai Chi, and I found it enormously rewarding. It was one of those things that really helped me by helping other people. So I did recently, well, for the last year, no cancer at all. So. And now for the video. The video is kind of a result of the cancer treatments, the feeling of what Tai Chi does inside of you. It was like a sunrise that was happening. And so I did a video of me doing the Chen 36 form. And the Chen 36 form, and I did it on the beaches of California and Santa Barbara there. And when the sun rises, I wait for the sunrise, and as it rises, I'm there to greet it. And then I go through the 36 form as we're doing it, and all the different aspects of my inner journeys, that are happening in the landscapes that we're creating. And then finally, at the end of the day, boom, as the sun sets, I leave it. So it's a simple premise, but it, again, is a metaphor for how Tai Chi, in different ways, allows the sun to rise inside of you so that we can sense the space in the same way that when the sun comes up out of darkness, we have space. So, if we can have the lights out, we will now have the North American premiere of Tai Chi First Light. All right, we did it. Yeah. Thank you all. Thank you. It's been an honor to share with you my experiences in Tai Chi and dance. And I'm very grateful for the passionate Tai Chi audience. I really believe that this Tai Chi energy is what holds us all together. You know, that we're social animals and we have connections between and among us that we're not even aware of. And that if we actually use our Tai Chi energy to expand and to feel that song opening up, that as we get bigger and bigger, that we can connect with each other and form a bigger web of energy together. And in that web, we can have that incoming force where we can welcome and accept it. And when we send it out, we do so with kindness and intelligence. And within that web here, let's all show our strength, show our community, and humbly, in the name of Tai Chi, let's all dance together. All right. Thank you so much. We got a mic here.
I'm sure you want me to talk on behalf of everybody to thank Jerry sharing his life and his understanding with us. I can tell you, I learned so much about Tai Chi and the energy, the friendship between us. I learned so much from each time I sing this. So thank you again, Jerry,
okay.
from everybody.
Thank you. All right.